Hey, what's up, y'all? I just kind of wanted to make a video kind of just talking about what's going on in my head. And I think what I'm about to say is going to be very relatable to a lot of people because I've kind of been talking about this to some of my friends lately, and they say that they kind of have a similar experience and they kind of want to give this a shot with me. But I was actually going to do a very off-brand video for me, but I was kind of going to tell you guys why I kind of gave up on religion when I was a child and why I'm open to giving it another shot today. Obviously, it's been about 8 to 9 days since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and I'm not moving past this. It's not something that I don't think I'm going to be able to, move on from quite quickly, because the reason why Charlie Kirk's assassination was so fucked was that he truly was killed for just holding the same beliefs as our grandparents once held. And I have to believe that if they're going to go out of their way to assassinate somebody, that they were probably saying something that they didn't want anybody hearing. And Charlie Kirk was a very religious man. He was a man of faith, and he will be remembered for being a man of faith. And I would like to go on record saying, I don't believe I've gone to church in about 14 years, but quite soon I'm going to be going to church for the first time in 14 years. And I'll let you guys know how it goes. I hope it's fine. But my experience with religion since I was a kid was I grew up in a Christian household. I was raised by a single mother. I had 2 brothers and a sister. It was a very dysfunctional household. It was a very abusive household. It wasn't a very fun place to live in. Obviously, my parent was very hardcore Christian, and my grandparents were very hardcore Christians, and everyone around me was very hardcore Christian, and well, they weren't really that nice to me. I mean, I'll just be real. They weren't really that nice. And I'm like, well, these people all suck and they're mean, and they tell me to believe in God, but they're really mean to me and they tell me mean stuff. I remember I went to the church in like maybe 2nd, 1st, 3rd grade, and maybe somebody told the Pope to say this to me, but I remember, or whatever the pastor, sorry, I don't know. I'm new to this whole thing. I'm new, pardon me. And the pastor told me that, I was a little kid. I played tons of video games. And he told me that Pokemon was the devil and that I would go to hell if I played Pokemon. And my grandma told me that Tetris is the devil and I'm going to go to hell if I play Tetris. It reminds me of that Waterboy movie with Adam Sandler where it's like, girls are the devil. You're going to go to hell if you talk to any of those women, which, I mean, to be honest, I think my life would be much easier if I never talked to a woman, but oh well. I mean, maybe I'm being tested right now. Regardless. Yeah. So I kind of was just silently would just nod, and I would do the prayer, and I would sit at, at the table eating, and I would pray to the Lord and all that stuff. Meanwhile, being surrounded by these people who were mean to me, who kept on telling me to believe in Jesus and be good to thy neighbor, but they weren't good to me. And I was like, well, why would I want to do any of this? This is kind of fucking gay. And so, eventually, I was taken custody by my father in around 4th grade, but he was never really around. So I just played video games all day. And, everybody who I met online in World of Warcraft was a Satanist and very religious. And they also told me religion was gay. And so I had this guy called Julian, who was one of my best friends. And he was like a Wiccan, I think. And he was like, I was playing Xenoblade. This is like fast forward tons of years later, maybe like 9th, 10th grade probably. I was playing Xenoblade 2 or Xenoblade 1 while I was talking to him. And he's like, I am a Wiccan and I want to invite you to my tribe, John. And I'm like, I got no idea what the fuck you're talking about. But you're kind of scaring me right now. Religion was just really fucking weird to me. I went to a Lutheran school in 8th grade as well. And I was like, oh man, this shit's boring as shit. Anyways, fast forward to like 10th or 11th grade, I have this guy who's my brother. His name's Mike. He's the fucking man. One of the greatest goddamn people on this earth. And he was telling me about this thing called dimethyltryptamine. I don't know if you guys know what dimethyltryptamine is. It's like this plant that apparently you like smoke. And this was like back in like 2010, 2011s. And apparently there was like this one thing where you like pass out, you meet these three guys and they kind of look at your body and they tell you, they like take you around like the world and they break down things algebraically and mathematically and they say, we were expecting you, but you came earlier than we anticipated. And it was like leading people to believe that this was like kind of the gateway to like heaven and all that shit. And anyways, I started writing like an article trying to, and this is so gay, I was trying to like debunk the existence of God when I was like 15, 16 years old. Because I was like, I know everything. I'm him. No, I'm above all this noise. I get it. These other motherfuckers, they don't get it. But the problem was that when I was trying to debunk God, every time I ever looked into it, I would find more reasons to believe than to not believe. And so for me, I was always like, damn, all right, well, I don't want to be Christian because I knew Christians. Christians were mean to me. I'll be agnostic. And I've done a lot of research. And I would like to say that since, it's kind of hard to put all this into words, I always believed since then, since like 16 to 18, that there is a God, that there is an afterlife, that is, your placement is subject to your morality on whether you were a good or a bad person when you were alive on this world. There were some things that the Bible said that I agreed with. There were some things that the Bible said that I didn't agree with. But I'm so ignorant on what the Bible has actually said, and I don't know if I was fed misinformation, that I'm not really sure if I even need to bring that up anymore, because I realize a lot of people just lie about a lot of things. I'm currently looking into the Crusades on whether or not they were actually as horrific as they said. I actually have a documentary pulled up. I've actually, for the past, 15 days I've been on break. I've stopped watching anime. I've stopped listening to music, and I just play informative educational videos, multiple videos on the same subject to get like multiple people weighing in on it and trying to figure out what I believe from all of the information that's presented. I've also been kind of just really meditating and realizing what I want to do, what I want to be, and what I want my life to look like when I finish my journey as a content creator, which I'll never be able to retire, guys. I tried. I stayed off Twitter for like 5 days, but I love Twitter so much. It's so bad. It's like, I love it and I hate it. It's like PvP. It's so bad. Anyways, sorry, my head's kind of all over the place, but I always had my own specific belief system that there is a God, that there is a afterlife. And maybe that was out of fear. I don't really enjoy the concept of death too much. Or at least I didn't, but now I think I've come to terms with it. If it happens, it happens. And I hope, that I've done enough good to be granted a more comfortable position in the afterlife than a, uncomfortable position. That leads me unto now, where maybe about 2-3 weeks ago, I still felt the same, still believed in a higher power and the existence of heaven and hell. But I actually started reading the Bible lately. I think I'm okay with saying this. There was a YouTuber by the name of Tactical Templar that kind of made Jesus seem pretty cool, as well as Nux Taku that made Jesus seem pretty cool, as well as Charlie Kirk being so comfortable with death and all he wanted to be remembered for was his faith, that I actually started reading the Bible, and I actually like it. It's been pretty cool. I believe what I read was Genesis 37 through 50, which I believe was the story of Joseph. It was a great story. Some great passages like Galatians 4:16, which can be summarized by, so we're enemies now that I've told you the truth. As well as I really enjoyed hearing the story of Job, which a great YouTuber summarized as the most unfair story in the Bible ever told, which has been very entertaining for me. Really trying to give this whole religion thing a shot has been difficult, but I'm trying to enter it with an open heart and an open mind, because I don't know if there's many people like me out there where I've always wanted to truly believe, but it's hard. And you do want to fully commit, but you're still unsure, and you want to be sure, and you want to feel the way that you believe other people, which is so strong in their belief, because I think it's so beautiful. It is. It's a very, very, very beautiful thing, but it's difficult. And I've been afraid of fully giving myself to trying this, but I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. And I'm not going to make this a religion channel or anything. I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to give church a shot. And if it's cool, great. If not, okay, well, wasn't for me. But I think there's 3 very important principles in life, which are mind, body, and soul. And since I started reading the Bible again, and I'm not trying to convert anybody to Christianity here. I'm just telling you guys what's going on with me. Since I started reading the Bible again, I feel better. I do. I feel very good. I feel very motivated. I feel like I have purpose. I was in the gym yesterday, and I'm currently on a severe deficit, and I'm working out incredibly hard. I'm hitting all my macros. And there's been 2 other times where I felt truly touched by God himself. But for a 3rd time, I felt what I believe to be the Lord's presence in the gym. And it was a very unique feeling. And it was very, you know when you play Undertale and it says you feel filled with determination? It kind of felt like that. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's placebo, maybe it's not. But I've always been a pretty spiritual guy. I mean, side note, when my grandmother passed, let me give you the whole story. So I was laying in my truck bed in El Paso, well, my friend's truck bed in El Paso, Texas. And I was kind of sad, and I tried praying to God for the first time in a long time back then. And my grandma came up to me and asked me, John, what are you doing in the bed? We don't really hang out anymore. Are you doing okay? I love you with my whole heart, and I miss you. And then immediately after that, she left. And then I got a call from one of my family members informing me that my grandmother had just passed away in the hospital bed. And it was a very surreal experience. It was, and I'll never forget it. It's so specific in my mind. And it was scary, and I didn't know how to explain it. Maybe my brain's just fucked up. And, you know, I'm schizophrenic, so it probably is. But I think the world's a crazy place. And I know for a while, religion was seen as like gay and wow, that's cringe. And I remember how glorified it was to just not believe in anything. And anyways, I just want to say I'm giving this a shot, and would like to work on the whole mind, body, and soul. And I'll let you guys know how it goes. I don't know if any of you guys care. But to be honest, I kind of just miss talking to you guys. So I just figured I'd make a quick little YouTube video. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Appreciate you guys. And I'll talk to you soon. I hope. Bye-bye.